Welcome back to It Starts Now, the Happy Hour Finance and Business. My name is Stanley. I got a special guest here today. Very, very long time, right?
Yes.
Tamoya been doing this for a very long time as far as like her business on the side, but it professionally it's been a while, right? But
Yeah.
then, no, professionally it's been 2 years, but you've been doing it for some time now.
Yeah, as a hobby.
As a hobby, right?
Yeah.
And matter of fact, introduce yourself and let people know what you got going on.
Okay, so I'm Tamoya, basically the owner of Laura Body Treats, which is a handcrafted skincare business that I part own with my 14-year-old daughter. Basically, the whole reason for starting the company was because of her. She had issues with eczema, and
Yeah.
eczema, and basically I just decided to make something for her to clear up her skin because I was just tired of like going to the stores, buying creams for her every day, and I just thought, okay, well, you could do this yourself. So I decided to do it. Teachers at her school loved it. My mom loved it. She decided to take it to work. She took it to work. It sold out. And I was like, I got something here. Let me just make this myself and sell it. It's like it's a need and I have customers. So why not see how far I can go? And that's how I started it about five and a half years ago.
5.5 years
Yeah.
ago. And two things. One, I really like the fact that you made your daughter your partner. I think
Yes.
that's amazing.
Yes,
I
thank
like
you.
that. Yeah, and the other thing is like you took a leap, right? You just said, "Hold on, let me give it a try." But what was like phase one? Like what was the struggle?
Phase one was really me just not wanting to do like a regular job and be micromanaged in a sense. And then I've always loved skincare. So that was just something one day I was just like, you know what? I have to do something more. Like I'm not meant to just do regular stuff. I'm just not meant for mediocre.
Right.
And I said that there's something that I can do that turn it into a business. And I just sat down and was like, what am I good at? That's how I first started. What am I good at? What do people compliment me on? Like what?
Right.
So I just wrote down a bunch of stuff. Good at skincare. I've always been into like self-care, skincare and stuff like that. So I always take the time out to like pamper myself and pamper my daughter as well.
Right.
So that's something that's just like we do. Then another thing is I like to help people. So by me helping people with something that I already love and I do it myself anyway, it just made sense.
Yeah.
So it was basically like a passion of mine. Anything that I felt like I was passionate about, I was just like, you know what? I might as well turn it into a business because I'm going to do it regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I might as well get paid for
Yeah.
it. Like, it makes sense to me.
No, it definitely makes sense. Now, explain to the people like what's the difference between skincare and makeup?
All right, so skincare is what we're going to take care underneath. So your skin. The makeup goes on top. So we mainly focus on, and there's nothing wrong with makeup,
Right.
but we mainly focus on taking care of the base, you know? So you want to have nice skin to apply makeup onto, you know? So we just say skincare is just like taking care of your skin and just nourishing that. And makeup is just what you apply on top to look good. So skincare is the bottom layer. Makeup is the top layer.
And what made you, I know you got into it, the business side of it, right? Because of your daughter. But how did you get into saying, I want to take care of my skin? Like, you know, a lot of us do want to take care of our bodies, but no one really targets and say, I'm going to get up and this is what I want to do is take care of my skin.
I don't know. I've just always been into skincare, getting magazines about skincare when I was younger. Just like those things just made me happy. Like, you know, being able to just get a whole bunch of stuff in Target or a beauty supply store, come home and just say I'm pampering myself instead of going to like a spa. Probably I didn't have enough money then, but I'm going to make my home a spa. So I felt good. So I decided, you know, I'm pretty sure there's other people that's out there in the same position who wants to feel good as well. So we'll bring the spa home. And I just said, okay, this is what I enjoy. I know that there's other people that's out there that's going to enjoy it too. So why not share the information with everyone? And people always compliment me on my skin. And that's one of my I love my skin. Like, I'm dark skinned, but I love my skin.
Right.
So I try to just like make sure I take care of it. My daughter's also into skincare as well. So it's just something that's just in us. We just love taking care of the skin. Yeah.
All right. Now, I do want to let me make a toast with you too, because this is important.
Can't drink by myself now.
No, you can't do that. We can't allow you that.
No.
So, let me get this right here. All right. So, I like everything I'm hearing because number one, you sound like you believe in yourself a whole lot, right? And you love taking care of yourself, pampering yourself and things like that, which is amazing. I'm looking at it from, you grow up, you listening to magazines. You watch, looking at magazines, you're listening to things that inspire you when it comes to taking care of your skin. And you say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and dive into this thing right here, full throttle, right? No hose bar. So now, like, what was the first thing that said you realized in order for me to do this, I have to learn X, X, Y, and Z? So basically, what separates your product from everybody else's? Because you still had to find a way to make your thing stand out.
Yeah. What I would say, one of many, because there's a few.
Okay.
One of many would be just understanding my customer. Knowing my customers' wants and knowing what problems they have normally and finding a way to solve that issue. So that is what really connected me in a sense, and just like being more direct. Because at first I didn't have it all. Like, it was just like all over the place. It was trial and error. Like, I didn't go to school for business and marketing or anything like that. This is self-taught.
Right.
Me, hours being on YouTube, just teaching myself the basics of growing a business, But YouTube was basically my teacher.
Right.
Mentors that I see on Instagram, taking the time out to say, okay, instead of me going to this party, I'm going to book a class, a Zoom class with this mentor or a master class, and just dedicate myself to trying to know my audience and to figure out this business and my competitors, and just basically watch them as well too, and just learn from my competitors as well.
And like tell me some of the things that you took away that kind of benefited you.
Oh my gosh, I took away almost everything. I even had my friend take over the payments for my car, like have my friend have the car, because I was just that dedicated to where I didn't want to have anything that I could take the train or I could probably take Ubers, but I knew that I was not really doing much, so I really didn't need the car.
Right.
It wasn't a necessity to me. So anything that was not a necessity, I kind of cut it out. I cut out partying, and I like to go out. I like to go out to eat. I just like to have fun. And at that time, it was not about having fun, because I felt like I would have fun at the end, because I was just that dedicated to applying everything to my business. Every single thing. Like, I didn't have any quality time. It was just business. Anyone that knows me within that transition, I would say, because it was a transition, knows that they couldn't even get in contact with me without me saying, oh, I'm looking at this, or I'm doing something for my business. What are you doing? Something for my business. Is just dedicated to my business. Yeah. And I think that's what.
And you saw the growth, right? Because the person you were when you started is not the same person. Yeah, absolutely. It's not the same person that you are now. And you do you like most of us that really go on that journey, we find that a lot of things that used to amuse us doesn't amuse us anymore, and we find that certain things that you would entertain, but you're not entertaining anymore. It's like, I'm too focused here.
Yeah.
But then you also realize that there's certain areas I'm lacking, so I got to catch up, because there's so many great entrepreneurs out there. And they're scaling their business, and you're like, hold up. Yeah. I got to grow, right?
That's what it was. I was just watching others. I'm like, at a time and point within my business, having a lot of failure kind of like discouraged me. But in a sense now I understand, like, it was not for me to give up. It was just for me to revamp like take a step back and see what am I doing wrong instead of giving up. And that's why I say not everyone can be like a boss, because some people, they're in it just to win instantly. You don't always win instantly.
No.
Sometimes you fail, and then it's just like that way of teaching you, like, you're doing something wrong, you need to step back and go back at it again.
Yeah.
Plenty of times I gave up and I said I'm not doing this anymore, but I knew it was my passion because I couldn't stop thinking about it.
Right.
You know, I'm just like, it's not the money, because there's years that I went by and I didn't make much. Like, I'll probably have 4, 3, or 5 sales for the month.
Right.
But I'm still working like I'm making $100,000 for the year. You wouldn't know that. But it's just about me just being so consistent, because I'm just so persistent on things that I want and things that I say I want to have, I'm going to get.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just being consistent, you know.
I like that. I like to call that laying the seeds, right? Because it's like, you know, you go out there and you're doing nature or whatever it is. You just still got to lay down the seed and watch it grow.
Watch it grow.
So even though you don't see anything at first, but you know deep down the roots are taking place. And once the root starts building some type of foundation, it's a lot easier for you to start growing now, right? Because you can't grow with no foundation.
You can't.
No.
It's impossible. It's just going to tumble down. It's like... It's not strong.
It's not strong, yeah.
Not
so
strong.
That's why I think that failure really strengthened your habits. It really strengthened your character, but it gives you an opportunity to really learn your business inside and out.
Yes.
So if somebody have a conversation with you, right, you can could talk about your business.
Yeah.
And if you want to get like investors, or if you want to get people that want to jump on board, not even just investors, but people that just believe in you, the more you know about your business, the easier to persuade somebody to join. Yeah. Because now they know, she knows what she's talking about.
She knows what she's talking about. Even though you probably don't know, you're like, like you did been in it.
Yeah.
Like, you experienced it. So it's just natural. You know, it's not you making up anything and making up these numbers and making up, this sells and this doesn't sell. Like, at first I didn't understand none of that.
Right.
I was just like, I want to sell. Why isn't anyone buying my product? And I didn't have a plan, and I didn't have a structure. And, you know, I didn't plant any seeds for it to grow into where now I'm like, okay, if I do this today as a marketing strategy, I know I'm going to see this result from it. Like, I know my business now.
Because you can gauge it now.
Yes, you can gauge. Right. I'm still growing, I'm still learning, but for the most part, I feel like I have a little formula that I know my business, you know, in a sense.
Let's talk about before we go into the product. By the way, Tamoya came in, had a drink, and then we asked if she wanted to chase her. She said yes, I want to chase her. And so we gave her 2 options. And then one of the chases that we had was Island something.
Island Punch.
Island Punch, yeah. And I said, I don't even know why you asked her. I knew she was going to pick that one.
Island me, please.
So that's really cool. So let's go into the product. I think that's the key right there, because you're selling now online.
Yes.
And there was during COVID, you took some time off from work.
Yes.
And you was able to scale your business, and now you're seeing it grow, like really growing.
Yes.
Like, walk us through that. Like, how was that like?
Okay, so I think everything happened at a perfect time in a sense. We had a pandemic. It was COVID. It was a sad time for some, but within that time, like, a lot of people grew, like entrepreneur, Black-owned businesses, small businesses, and mine being one of them. It took off because of the fact that I feel like, you know, at a time, everyone wanted to be more self-conscious, health-wise. So since my company is based off of just handcrafted, organic, natural products, I feel like people gravitated to that because it was just something like, okay, yes, I need to do better. You know, with the skin being the largest organ, this is like whatever you put on top is going to go in your body as well. So it's not all about just whatever you drink or eat. It's also taking care of the outside. So we seen the numbers started to go up. Like, you know, it was an influencer who posted it on her YouTube page. And she's been posting it for a while, but it never got that much traction as it did during COVID. Now, people weren't able to go outside. Stores were closed. my online business, and I'm here like, oh my gosh, I wish I could have a store, but not knowing that down the line it would have worked out for me, because now all these businesses that have stores closed down to be online now. You know, so my e-commerce store was worked well for me, but basically we just was like, we seen the YouTube page, started seeing the phone blow up, and I'm just like, what is going on? Sold out, sold out, sold out. And I'm like, this is strange. Let me go and look, and seeing that she posted it on YouTube, and everyone's like, when are you gonna come back out with this? And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like, at first it was really good, but then it was just like, okay, now I'm just by myself with my daughter. Like, what am I gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's why they always tell you have a plan. Big on business plans, because what are you gonna do if this does happen to you, you know? So now I'm grabbing people like, oh my gosh, can you help me? Can you help me? My friend around the corner, she offered to help me. Another friend I worked with, she offered to help me. My sister and my mom. So it was just like everyone was hands on boards. Like, what do you need? Like, I couldn't even live in my living room.
That was how many products you
That's
had.
how many how many orders. I'm talking about stack like this.
It's crazy.
Of orders. And then we were just like, wow. It was overwhelming, because it's just like I had to learn. Now I'm at a different part of the business. Now my problem was not getting sales. It's now keeping the sales and being able to give them what they ordered. You know what I'm saying? So
you got a demand. You got a demand now. You got supply.
There you go. So I needed to make sure I had the supply, and if not, they're like, "You're waiting too long. Okay, I'm not going to come back. Like, your products are good, but I'm not going to come back." So we had to learn fast. Like, we had to really get on the boat with this thing, because we were like, we want to keep these people. Like, I was scared at first that it might be just like a here and now type thing, but I was just like, you know what? I'm going to strategize to where they're going to be my long-term customers. I'm going to make sure I'm going to hold on to them, you know? And that's just basically what it was. It was posted on YouTube within the right time. I was off of work. So everything just happened so perfect. My daughter's out of school. Like, it was just...
And she was helping out too.
And she helps out, yeah. Yeah, we do. We're like so transparent on Instagram also. That's why I feel like a lot of people love our business, because we're like so transparent. We're showing you how we're making the products. We're showing you behind the scenes, the ups, the downs, everything. Like, whatever you want to know, access, and we'll tell you about it, because we're natural and organic. So we want it to be like that.
Right,
you know?
right.
Yeah, so.
That's a beautiful story, man. Yeah, because, you know, we had somebody on Eat Okra. Same thing happened overnight. He went from 300 to 3... He went for 300 to 300,000 downloads, like overnight.
Wow.
And he said, I asked him, you know, what was some of the challenge? He said, listen, we had no choice. Everybody had to step it up. Like, his wife had to step up, you know, he had to step up. So I like the stories where everybody think that it's, yes, it's a gradual growth, but sometimes you can just pop instantly. And if you're not prepared, that's why having those roots is so important, right? And understanding and building that foundation, so that way when you do pop, you know, you're not going to be fully prepared, but you'll be able to manage it. And I think that's what I'm hearing from the story, and I think that's beautiful.
I had to. We had to. It's like, no, I'm holding on to these people. They're not going anywhere. You know, my products are good. So I know that if I just get it out there, that was my main thing. Like, oh my gosh, my products are so good. Like, why am I not getting any customers?
Are the sales consistent now?
Yeah, they are consistent.
So you saw but once the jump happened, you were able to keep the sales at that level?
Yeah, it goes up and down a little, because in the summer, because like I said, know my business. In the summertime, it's not as much people wanting to do skincare. Within the wintertime, you see your skin starting to change. So when you see your skin starting to change, people's like, oh my gosh, my skin is so dry. I need this, I need that. And so we'll see the numbers rise more when the months are cooler, rather than
but
summer.
It's not a seasonal type of thing.
No. We still so when you're marketing, you have to make sure that you have, even if it's seasonal, you have to find a way to have something for the summer, something for the winter, something for the downtime, something that's up. So you want to be able to be consistent in sales around the year. Like, you don't want to be that low to where you're like, okay, it's crickets,
Right, right, right.
So in my head, I was like, what are they going to use in the summertime? What should I do in the summertime? So implement little things that kind of boost the sales within the summertime. No, it's not going to be as high as the fall and winter, but we're still consistent. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the product though. Like, by the way, salute.
Cheers.
Yeah, I like the stuff. Let's talk about the product. Like, tell us more about it.
So, I want to say I have over 30 different products that I handcraft, and I'm the only one that handcrafts these items. So over 30 products, from cleansers, moisturizers for your face. Mainly, we transitioned. At first, we were more body, so like lower half, and then people would be asking, "Oh, do you make cleansers? Do you make this? Do you make that?"
Right.
So if they're asking, then it's a demand for it. So we're gonna shift and go from the body. So I used to do more body scrubs, more body butters, and shift it to like the face was the main focus, So we have cleansers, moisturizers, exfoliators, anything that you need to take care of your skin, we have it. Like at least you're going to find one item on the website that really takes care of your full body. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, mainly everything is natural, handcrafted. We try to choose the best oils, the best chemical-free, non-toxic products or ingredients that we can make into because I, for one, don't like to use, I'm trying to be very conscious. So I don't like to use a lot of chemicals if I can, have a say-so in it. And I don't want my daughter to, like, I'm starting her out with, toxic-free deodorant, like stuff like that. Back in the day, probably my mom couldn't afford to do it back then, but now that I'm able, I'm going to do it for my daughter. Anything I don't use on my skin, I don't want to put and make for other people to use. So I just stick by that because I only use my products mainly.
So, well, that's good. Oh, I mean, you should.
You should. Yeah, but there's some people.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? So when you come to my house, you're not going to see anything more. If I don't make it, then it's different. But if I make it, it's in the house. It's going to be used.
Yeah. But how long can that strategy last of you being the only one? Because once you're going to grow, because you're growing. Okay, all right.
I have a plan. Right. So eventually we're going to expand into having manufacturers. But I do like the fact that it's like, a little one-on-one. But yeah, as you grow and the demand grows, I'm going to have to also grow. So with being a business owner, that I notice is like you can't do everything by yourself. And that's one thing that I used to like get overwhelmed with. And that's the reason why I used to have to take breaks a lot, because I was the marketing team. I was the web designer. I was everything. Yeah, and it's just like
you when you first start off, you normally are you are that person. You wear so many different hats. Yeah,
you're everything. So it's just like you pretend like you're not, like, hold on, let me check with my web designer. You're like, you're in the back added. You're like, yeah, okay, yeah, he added it. You could go online and shop now, like, but it's just like how you perceive it. But yeah, we really, as we're growing the business, we're doing every single thing. So I have a financial advisor now, so she helps me look over things, and she's like, you have to remove yourself from this part of it now. It's going good. So now you have to probably put someone in that place to where you can be available to where you need more assistance in. So yeah, as it grows, I'm going to take myself away from more the physical parts of it and then oversee it so it could just run exactly how I want it to run.
Yeah. Did you know this was going to become successful to this point? Because you have a lot more room to grow. Yeah. Right? But did you imagine this day could possibly come to the point you're at right now?
I didn't think it was going to come through skincare, to be honest. Like, I'm a very creative person in a sense. So it's just like, I'm always thinking about different ways of different things. So I didn't think skincare, like I said, it started as a hobby. So it was not something that I really thought it was going to take off. I like to make stuff on my downtime. I'm like a DIY queen. So I'm just making stuff, have like projects in the house and stuff. And I was just like, I like skincare and this, so mesh it together. But I didn't think it would take off like this. Yeah.
Do you do like promotional stuff?
Promotional like what?
Like you know, for example, when you have those big sales that's coming up, and do you do that type of marketing yet, or no?
Yeah,
You still
yeah,
growing?
definitely because I go extra hard when it's like for sales and
Right.
promoting during that time. If I have a new product launch or, there's something that I'm like, okay, this is not doing too well because I'm not putting it in front of them, make sure to, make it attractive to them. So
Right.
I just started learning about like Klaviyo or MailChimp, like online marketing, SMS marketing. So I just got into that part of it because I was like, okay, I got this down pat. Now I need to have this for it to be, my funnel to be completed.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I'm trying to get it from everywhere. So if someone is online and they're on Instagram and they missed my post, you're going to get it through text message or you're going to get it in your email. Okay? You're going to see us. You're going to see us one way or another. And recently, which was such a big help, is Reels.
Right.
Like I tell everyone, definitely promote on with Reels. If you have like a video that you could cut down to like 30 seconds, definitely do that because I've been seeing like all over with this Reels. Recently, a company, Be Fine, they reached out to us for us to do their swag bags for Miami Swim Week. And that was one of the reasons why they were able to reach out to us. Usually, we're the ones reaching out as a small business, like, oh, can we be a part of? And I was just like, wait, is this real? I had to look at the Instagram and be like, is this a real page? Like, because usually it's like, okay, you're reaching out to me. Okay, so yeah, Reels exposed us to like different business opportunities, such as that. So that was cool. And then also within a mall now, we're in a mall in Ohio, Drama Free Beauty. And they said, we seen you on the reel. Your products look amazing. The way how like I showcase it, like she feels like she's there with the products.
Right.
And she was just like, I want you in my store. And I was like, okay, fine.
Look, man, sometimes all it takes is that one person.
Yes.
And then it starts to grow from there.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
If you had some advice you wanted to share to somebody that was starting out, because, sometimes I underestimate how, like some of us don't even look at, beauty products as a big business when it really is. It's a huge market. Right?
Billion-dollar business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if somebody was trying to come up, what advice would you give?
What I tell everyone that do, come in my DM like, oh my gosh, you're like, how can I do this? And I'm like, you have to be consistent and you have to really give it your all. It's not until I gave it my all is when I really seen like feedback from it. Before it's just like, okay, I'm gonna half-ass it. You really can't half-ass it when you're starting out. You really have to be dedicated and be consistent. Consistency is just like, it's so cliche. When people used to tell me that, be consistent, I'm like, be consistent. Like, what? What are you talking about? Like, give me more. I need more. But now that I understand, like, me being consistent, even when I was not seeing a dollar, it kind of worked because, like you said, it's just like planting the seeds, and it's they're sprouting. You just don't see it yet.
Right.
It's gonna come up. But being consistent was one of my best things I could have ever done, and just not giving up when I did not see what I wanted to see yet. You never know when it's going to happen. You being consistent and applying yourself to it, eventually, yes, it's going to work. Probably not when you want it to, but eventually it will. Sometimes we don't want to hear that, but that's just how it goes. Yeah. There's no way around it, to be honest.
There's no shortcuts, really.
Yeah.
You try to, but at the end of the day, it circles back.
It circles back. You waste time. So I wasted a lot of money. Time and money is very equal to me. So it's just like, no, I can't keep on losing money and time. Let me just stop doing these shortcuts and just like really apply my time. Sit down and research this business. Sit down and see where I want to be in a few years. And then really make a plan. You have to have a plan. You can't just be all over the place. You can't copy this person, copy that person, and think it's going to work for you because it's not the same. It's just not. I mean, I've tried before and like, okay, I'm going to make this too because this person blew up on Instagram making this, but this is not something that was for me. I'm just like, that's not my
It's
passion.
not authentic.
It's not authentic. There you go. So be authentic, be consistent, and just give it your all. Like like I said, it's very cliche, but once you really apply yourself to what you want, you're gonna see like, okay, yeah, it's growing. It's gonna come to me.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it definitely. And when you start seeing traction, it kind of like motivates you because you're like, oh, I see
oh my
something.
God, like, I'm not stopping now.
Yeah.
Like
What,
I'm not
what was
stopping.
your, if you don't mind sharing, what was your like best month? Like, what was? Give me some numbers that made you say like, hold up, I gotta continue.
My best month when I first started out. So the first month where she posted it on YouTube, cause and I would show people proof because I have like a little coaching thing on Instagram, and I show them all of that. And I probably the month before I probably made not even $1,000 that month. The next month I made 12,000, and then the month after that was $30,000. So that was my best month, and I was just like, what? 30,000? Like I was like recording myself, like, oh my gosh, guys, look. And it like probably it was like 3,000 in 1 week. And then I thought that was so much money because I've never seen that in a month.
Right.
So now I was so happy and I was excited, but then the next month I'm making 30K in 1 month, and I'm like, I've worked jobs that I made that in a year. Like what?
Yeah.
So then you start. Then it opens up different things where you have to start thinking about. Before, IRS didn't even care about me and my little
A couple of hundred. Yeah.
Right. So now I'm like, okay, how do I do this? Like like I said, you get to one level, that's the bottom of another level. So it's just like you're growing. So yeah.
Yeah, it's like the branches off the leaf. It starts spreading.
Yeah, so that was my best month. Yeah.
That's what's up, man. This been absolutely amazing to hear this story.
Yeah.
Because you know, you come across some people and you're like, you're not too sure what's going on, and then when you hear the full story, you're like, that's impressive.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah. And that's what we like to share here. It Starts Now. We like to share like people's stories and journeys.
Yeah.
And the ones that inspire us the most, we be like, oh, I like that. Yeah. And really what really inspired me was the fact that, you know, number one, you did it for your daughter, right? That was the cognitive thought behind the whole building the business. But the other thing was you made her a partner. Yeah. And that was priceless to me because I was like, oh, that's interesting. I like that. Yeah.
I'm big on that.
Yeah. And now it's growing. Like, you know.
And people love that. People love, like, it was not like a strategy at first. Like, people were just like, oh, I just love how you and your daughter are just like doing this and doing that. I was like, we do this on the regular. Like, you know, this is something. Or even like with my YouTube. I was on YouTube for like couple of years and I would not get many subscribers, and then I just started being consistent. Like, regardless if I just get 20 views, I'm still gonna post because there's someone that's out there that wants to see the process. And I was just like, this is something I'm gonna do regardless. So why not? Like, it just makes sense. So I
remember Bruno Mars before he got real big, and he had like 12 or 13 views on YouTube, and I was listening to the music, and I was like, wow, this guy is amazing. Like, this is crazy. Wow. And literally, he dropped the record with B.O.B. And I went back and I said, oh, that's the guy I was listening to. So I went back to the same YouTube songs I was listening to. They were in the millions.
Look at that.
And like, literally, it was like a week apart or something, or 2 weeks apart. And it's like, you never know, right? But he had those 12, 13 views that those people were probably consistent with him from the beginning. And then boom, when it took off. So some people, when I get it now and I understand the train of thought when people say, you know, I've been with the person for the journey. Or like, I'm their biggest fan. I understand now because when you start from the beginning, from ground zero, you probably only have one or two, maybe a handful, right? But then as you start growing, those people that have been there from the beginning, they don't want to have the rightful claim. They can say, I was there. I was there from the ride. I seen it.
And I call them beauties and gents. Like I have a name.
Oh.
My beauties, my beauties, they're like ride or die. Like they'll let you know. I've seen her since she was around her kitchen, her dining room table, mixing and labeling, or in my kitchen, just mixing up and just showing them like, okay, this is the process. This is how you make a scrub. This is how you make a body butter. Like there's like, I've been there. So it's like a award for them, like to say like, I'm an OG. Like, like I'm an OG of your supporters, and I try to like extend my appreciation to them as much as possible because they're quick to say like, I've seen you grow.
Right.
Like it's amazing to see you and your daughter grow, like till they feel like they're proud moms in a sense. It's like, oh my gosh, like I'm living through you, like in a sense. And it's just very like organic. It's not like hating or anything like that. Just how I deliver the information, like, cause I just really want to help people. Like I'm firm at like seeing other Black-owned businesses grow. Like that's something that I feel like during the pandemic we should have taken like, you know, advantage of, because it was opportunity there. So now we catching up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna extend this information to anybody else, and it's just not extending. And they're like, some people are like, why are you giving out your information? It's like, it's how they're going to use it. Let's see how they're going to use it and what's going to come out for them. It's probably not going to be the same. Probably it'll be more, but it's okay because, you know, I'm here to help you as well. So it doesn't matter.
I like that. I definitely like that. Yeah, but we're grateful to have you on here, and
excited to be here.
Thank you. This has been amazing. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you so much.
And I definitely appreciate it, and I'm sure the people, your beauties, and your gents,
thank you.
Appreciate it too as well.
The skin down. Is there anything on it?
A little.
So the question was, do you have anything on your skin right now?
From my line.
Not but makeup.
So I don't wear foundation now. Okay. So this is all natural right here. I have a little blush right here and highlighter. If girls know what I'm talking about, little highlighter here. But yes, thank you.
Oh, and I saw that you have what's her name that was on the cover? Danella. That was great.
Yes.
I like the look. It was a great look.
Because Danella has amazing skin too. So it's just like, you know, if you're getting complimented by it, like I said, you have to know what are your strong points and you got to push those forth. So it's just like, I seen her. I was like, Danella, would you mind being a model for me? And I was like, please don't make her say no, because like she's perfect. Her skin was amazing. She's been in a
few commercials. I was sharing that with them. And I saw a Delta commercial that she was on. So she did a few, and she looks natural. Like it's like flawless.
Yeah, she doesn't wear foundation either. Like she just the basics, like the very basics, like, you know, mascara, those type of things. So I wanted to like have other females or even males just know that it's okay to just wear your skin. Like we have been stuck in an era where it's just like makeup. It's nothing wrong with makeup, but it's just like, you know, let your skin breathe, and it's okay to show your skin. Like it's okay. We make it okay. You know, come and see me. We make it okay.
That's what I'm talking about. Promote, baby. All right, guys. This has been amazing. Cheers.
Cheers. So good. Run.
Thank you for tuning in. As always, we truly appreciate it, all the support that we've been getting. And please, there's a link below. We're going to have the information for you to purchase some of the product lines.
Yay.
We were supposed to have it today, but she was rushing coming from work. So we weren't able to. But definitely, we're going to have all the information below. Click on it. Please support. Please show some love. And thank you as always. Have a good night.
Thank you.